The first timeline is an interesting topic to discuss, considering that being the original timeline before Homura got on her Back to the Future arc, luckily without rizzing up her mom, in an attempt to save Madoka. So it's interesting to see what happened to the character who were important in other timelines, but had no real role in the OG timeline, this being none other than Sayaka, Hitomi and Kyoko. And in this video I want to cover all the things that happened to Kyoko in the first timeline. Our first introduction with Kyoko in this timeline is months ago, before the events of Homura entering Madoka's school. And currently she's witch hunting, since currently in Miyakawara the witches number has increased and she wanted to check it out, while also talking a bit to Kyubei. Now let's time skip a bit forward to day 5 of the first timeline. Kyoko goes to school, where Mami goes. She goes there because she started thinking about going to school, while also reminiscing about her sister who woke her up every day to go to school with her and would always jump on her body, and Kyoko would wake up from the immense pain of her always jumping on her body. Reminiscing of this happy memory, but also painful memory, because damn, that must hurt, she gets thrown off by her first time meeting Sayaka, who runs towards the school because she woke up a bit late and needs to go to school because she has a test to attend to. After seeing this, Kyoko decides to not go to school and continue her daily routine of living a life as a hobo. Later on, at noon at the same day, Kyoko is at the hill from episode 5 and uses her hobo powers to think what to do today. One of the things that she wants to do is go to the arcade and dance on her own and go witch hunting in the night. But she gets interrupted by Madoka's younger brother, who cries over not finding his father. Kyoko is annoyed not only for his crying, but also because he kind of reminds her of her sister and her still lingering good heart. And so she gives the brat a lollipop and a pep talk by stating it's not cool for a kid to cry. Anyways, Tatsue, aka Madoka's brother, started therefore seeing Kyoko as his new second big sister and stopped crying until Madoka's father finally catched up to his son and was grateful for Kyoko for finding him. The same day at night, Kyoko finally evolved from the tomboyish hobo and finally got herself a hotel suite and eats apple. Kyubei appears and Kyoko offers him an apple. But while Kyubei accepts this apple, he states that he doesn't need to eat. Anyways, Kyubei either tries to bring his witch score up to 3 or wants to assemble the Avengers, since he tries bringing Kyoko and Mami back together to fight against Walpurgis Nacht. But knowing him, he plans to do both of these things, turning them into witches and maybe, if possible, beat Walpurgis Nacht. But it didn't work, since Kyoko is still stubborn and doesn't want to work with Mami. Now let's skip to day 9, where Kyoko is currently dancing on her own in the arcade during noontime, until a police officer appeared and noticed that she isn't in school, and therefore takes her by the arm to guide her to the police station. But Kyoko makes a run from it and runs away from the police officer until she gets to a back alley where she lost him and finally ends up chilling in the shopping district. By the way, Kyoko's interaction with police officer are always either extremely interesting or funny as heck. Anyways, at night at the same day, Kyoko goes down a back alley and sees how 2 thugs are beating up a student, and who only stop if he would give them 1 million yen, which is around $6,946,000, or else they are going to strip him down and search for more money and beat him the fuck up. Kyoko jumps in and saves this guy by beating these thugs with no diff. She only did this because these guys were scum, but she also didn't like the student who is so weak to cry out for a girl that is younger than him for help, and states that he should get stronger or some shit like that, or not stay so pathetic. We once again have another time skip, and this time we skip towards day 15 at the night time, since a lot of days focus on Mami's jealousy towards Homura, spending more time with Madoka. Kyoko hunts down witches, but these are small fries and can't afford to spend therefore some greed seeds. Kyubei doesn't want Kyoko in the city to give Mami stability and therefore advises her to return to the city. Kyoko is ready to throw hands with Kyubei, but Kyubei goes away. In the end, Kyoko's soul gem gets tarnished because she doesn't have enough grief seed to clear her soul gem. Anyways, we skip forward to day 17 at noon, where Kyoko meets in the park Madoka's dad, and they have a funny interaction with Madoka's dad asking why Kyoko is not in school, and Kyoko asking Madoka's dad why he isn't working, and Madoka's dad stating that he is working since he is shopping, since he is a stay-at-home dad. Since Madoka's father is a W father and back the baddie, that being Madoka's mother, he cares a bit for Kyoko since she is at the same age range as Madoka and knows that around these parts, this being the park, many kids got missing, which is a reference to the boy that went missing because of a witch and the boy that Mami couldn't save 3 years ago. Madoka's father continues walking towards his home, while Kyoko is like, damn, I couldn't my dad be like that. At the same day at night, Kyoko gets back to her roots, this being the church, where once again a lot of thugs walk around, and Kyoko once again no-diffs them. But her inability to find grief seed results into her tarnishing once again her soul soul gem. And then finally, the final event we see Kyoko in the first timeline is at day 19, at morning, where on the way to school, Mami notices Kyoko's present and gets cocky and uses a rather bitch move by stating that if it came to a fight, people would come to her defense since she's the most trustworthy person between these two. Anyways, they continue talking about why they split up and why it didn't work out between them as Magical Girl partners. However, Mami didn't even notice how down Kyoko was, or her jealousy and extreme tarnishment of her soul gem resulted into her continue being hostile towards Kyoko, similar to how like Spider-Man from Ace Wayne was towards Venom even after the end.
Motherfucker been trying to kill me all season. I'm supposed to be nice. What the fuck? Same energy around here, bitch.
And it didn't help that Kyoko wanted to check out Madoka, and Kyoko was like, man, I should instigate this conflict even more. And it's like, yo, Kyoko, should I call Madoka over? And Kyoko is like, yeah, let's have a meetup with Mami's greatest failure. Being betrayed by both Kyoko and Kyubey, Mami's soul gem gets tarnished once again, and she was ready to throw hands. She was even ready to go even further by stating if Kyoko would just touch one single hair of Madoka's hair, she would kill her. Seeing how important Madoka is to Mami, Kyoko becomes extremely jealous and leaves the scene, believing Mami never really cared for her, and as a result, she gets depressed and leaves Mami's territory and returns to her old territory, resulting into her not joining forces against Walpurgis Nacht. And that is the end of Kyoko in the first timeline. We don't know exactly what happened after either Mami defeated Walpurgis Nacht or died to Walpurgis Nacht, but we can assume that she's still kicking in the first timeline or died in the fight against Walpurgis Nacht, since I don't believe that she would actually become a witch, since I only know one single timeline where she did become a witch, but that is for another time to cover. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and also check out my Scene Zero video. But for now, I wish you all a good day. Goodbye.